You hear people say, I have a six-figure podcast, but there's one question that you need to ask.
The School of Podcasting with Dave Jackson.
Yeah, I've got a six-figure podcast. Nobody's asking them. And of those six figures, how much of that do you get to keep? Because in many cases, the answer is zero. A friend of mine that I've known, Ray Edwards, was making about $1.6 million a year for many years, and he just announced that he went bankrupt. How? He made some bad decisions. And you make those bad decisions when you start making decisions with your heart and not your head. So I just wanted to pass along some tips. If you want to make money with your podcast, you have to run it like a business. And that first step you want to do is separate your personal checking and your business checking. You want separate accounts. I use Sofi. If you actually want a business account, there's Novo, there's Relay. I use Sofi because I earn interest on the money that's in there. The other thing is you want to track everything. If you want more money, track the money that you get. Again, how much do you get to keep? I use an app called Wave app. It's free. They do have a paid version. There's also Xero is another great one. Again, that one's not free, but it makes it super easy to track your expenses. And then you can see, is this working or not? And then there's a great book called Profit First. And the whole point of the book is this much money comes in. How much of this do you want to count as profit? And you're like, okay. So you take out a portion and then your expenses come in and you look at how much you have left and you go, hey, there's not enough money here to pay the expenses because I paid myself first. Well, then you either A, need to make more money or cut your expenses. And I was really surprised because it's so easy to go, you know what? It's only $20 a month. I'll go ahead and do that. I'll do this. And I did this a lot with domains. And so when I finally started using this profit first strategy, I looked at my GoDaddy. I'm also a GoDaddy reseller. And I looked at Namecheap. I have over 300 domains. And I know they're only $15 a piece, but times that by 300 a year, and all of a sudden, a lot of my profit was going out the window. The other thing I did is I looked at all the different things I'd signed up for, all these different, it's only $10, it's $12, it's $15, it's $18, and anything that I had not logged into in, let's say, a month or two, you're gone because I'm obviously not using it. So I canceled all those subscriptions. I canceled a lot of the domains. And another strategy you might do, this comes from Todd Cochran, Hall of Fame podcaster Todd Cochran. His wife, when he first started, said, okay, if you're going to do this, you have to start generating income by 3 years. And he did. And that's about the time it takes really to generate income. So sometimes putting a time limit, setting a goal so you can then track, hey, I'm making money, but okay, that's like when you make a goal and you go, oh, I want to lose some weight. Okay, you lost a pound. Are you done? You need to see how much are you looking to keep. And so to have more money, you have to pay attention to it. And again, that's where I use that Wave app. If you want to do this in your personal life, I use Monarch Money and I just tie it to my bank and all the income and expenses go out that way. That's not really a business tool. That's more of a personal one. And I use, like I said, the Wave app for business. But you'll be amazed when you start tracking exactly what you're spending on and how much you're making. You might realize maybe I do need to raise my prices or maybe I need to do this, but you won't be able to make that decision until you know what's going on. And so get out there. Again, if you want to make money with your podcast, and I'm going to add this here, you have to solve a problem. That's the best way to make money with a podcast. Solve a problem. Save somebody some time, save them a headache, save them some money. Most people, think about what people do when they bust out. I don't know where my wallet is, but when you bust out your wallet, what are you doing? You're almost always solving a problem, which is not really fair because sometimes the problem you're solving is you're entertaining people. And that's not quite as obvious as when you're like, oh, I wanted to learn how to do this and now I am, thus I will pay for this skill. Where sometimes what you're paying for is I just helped you realize or forget the bad day you had at work. Some people don't really realize that that's actually what you're helping them with. But I've got more information. I'll put a link in the show notes where I actually interviewed Steve Stewart, who's got he's been working in finance forever. He's actually the head of the Podcasters Editors Academy. And I'll have a link to that where if you want, he's actually got a spreadsheet where you can put in what you made and how much you spent on this and that, and it will figure out the percentages that you need to use, and you'll actually see how much profit, if any, was left. I'll put that in the description down below. For more information, you can always find me at schoolofpodcasting.com.